All right, welcome back to another Sledder Cast podcast episode. We are in Island Park, Idaho.
Island Park.
My favorite place in the world.
Is it?
It is.
That's awesome. I'm glad to be here with you then.
Yeah, so am I. But we're at the Out West Sled Fest. It's a yearly event. It keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. We just got done with the show and shine. I think we had 40 or 50 sleds out there.
There was a ton.
Sleds were looking dialed.
Pimp.
Right?
Things were pimped out. People had their just like iced out, well ridden. There was a dude that was even sporting half a tree.
Yeah, I had a half a tree on there.
Yeah, between his ski loops.
And he came literally right off the mountain.
Oh, yeah, with that tree.
Jake Dahl. Yeah.
And I think he got second place.
Yeah. Scored
Or
big
third.
with that.
Second or third?
Third. I think it was third. Yeah.
Still. Good looking wrap.
Yeah, it was great.
Was that Deviant ink wrap on that?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how I recognize?
How's that?
Because it looked good.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Hey, I wasn't expecting that one.
Wow.
There we go.
I'm surprised my wraps didn't win. They look good too, but
Yeah.
that's why I picked them.
We tried to stack the deck. We did our best.
Pretty
but it was
stacked
a
out
fair.
there.
It was a fair.
That is very fair.
It was very fair, right?
There's a lot of cool wraps, like not as many holographic prints as I expected.
Well, and it was also it's overcast, so it's kind of hard to see get the full effect.
Oh, that's a good point.
With having no sun. So
Yeah, the holographic stuff would be really shiny.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm Trevor Erickson, one of the hosts of the program. We've got Mr. Duncan Lee in the building. And we've been trying to string this together since like heydays. Just, hey, let's do it at the next show. A couple of them, or one of them got canceled. We're like, hey, get over to Sled Fest. We'll get you taken care of, and we'll do the pod then.
And here we are.
Hey, we made it happen.
What's happening?
So we have a great show lined up today. We're going to talk a lot about being Avy savvy, get to know Duncan a little bit more, get to know a little bit more about his style. I'm curious, what Tahoe is all about within the snowmobile scene.
Mm-hmm.
And so it should be good. Duncan is also putting on the Avalanche awareness training tomorrow here at the Sled Fest. So we'll be attending that as well. But we're just going to dive into making smart decisions. I mean, we were out with Duncan yesterday, just being around someone that has the knowledge and experience that you have, I think just made our group better. Hey, we should be asking these questions, Yeah,
I mean, it was a fun day of riding, and it's definitely sketchy out right now.
Super sketch.
With cracking, wumping, instabilities, and recent avalanches. And so we had to make good decisions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing that I picked up on and I appreciated was we looked at some terrain. You said, is it greater than 30 degrees? And if it was let's check it out and see. It was, I ain't messing with that today.
Yeah.
Just not messing with it today. So it's good. I had a blast with you yesterday.
It was fun riding.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, ski tips up.
Yep.
All the way.
Wheelie time, baby.
Staying off the steep stuff and having a blast.
Awesome. Okay, so Duncan.
Let's do it.
For those of us out there in this world who don't know who you are, give us a little bit of background. How'd you get into the scene of snowmobiling? What were you doing before? What you do occupation-wise that allows you to go out and do the things that you do.
A lot of that has changed over the years, but I started snowmobiling. There's a picture in Colorado in some terrain that's now closed to motorized use, but I think I was 2 with the family out there visiting other family. We were on sleds. Cool photo from back in the day. I don't even know what year, so I guess that would have been around 1980 was 2. And
let's do the math right there, everyone.
Let's not do the math. But then when I think I was around 12, my dad got 2 snowmobiles. I grew up in the Lake Tahoe area. Our house was way above town, up on the mountain, like 7,000, 8,000 feet, pretty far up there. And we used to ride those sleds as young teenagers around the neighborhood when it snowed in, because we would just get, the Sierra gets massive snowstorms. Mm-hmm. So when the driveway would get totally covered, when the neighborhood, you couldn't drive cars. The plows didn't come up and service us till very last. Mm-hmm. And we used to rip those around the neighborhood and have super fun. And then we'd take them up to one spot, Mount Rose, and just ride meadows. And it was cool, but I don't know, the sleds then were difficult to ride, especially when you're little.
Oh yeah.
And so then around 2000, I mean, I was snowboarding like a maniac, just every day. I was tuning skis at night. College and I didn't work out. It was probably college's fault.
Yeah.
But I came back and I was a ski bum. So I was tuning skis every night and snowboarding every single day. And did that kind of stuff and worked with a rep, and it was sponsored by K2 at the time. And I was super fired up, and it's like, oh, I need a snowmobile to get out in the backcountry and ski more or ride more big stuff. Like, that's where it's at. And of course, so right around 2000, I scraped enough money to buy a 144 800 RMK. And we started getting out there. My buddies were like, "You're not going to bring your snowboard anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, right." Yeah. So like 2 seasons later, sleds are going bigger, farther. We're jumping. It rode a lot of motocross at the time too. So we're like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And powder turns up, down, side. Well, not much sideways.
Yeah.
Because it was the old iron, but
Yep.
a lot of fun, and made it through. And
Snowboard slowly just got
yeah, I
put on
went
the
from
back
like
burner there.
100 days a year on the snowboard to like 75, 50, 10.
Yeah.
And now I really try and keep it at up to 10.
Up to 10.
Just still
That's your
snowboard.
allotment right there.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, especially now with the new machines. But so then we did a bunch of filming in 2008. We started Alpine Assassins, which was just a group of buddies getting out and filming. And we thought we were Sled Next dudes. So we just started our own film brand and going around to some of the shows. And just we had a lot of fun. And that's all we kind of capitalized on.
So Alpine Assassin started, you said, 2008?
That's kind of when we came together to found it. And we weren't able to do a film in until 2010.
10, okay.
And so then we did, I want to say there's 7 Alpine Assassin movies out there, which was a lot of fun. We kind of approached it from traveling in trips and showing the trials and tribulations of what we all do as snowmobilers and just kind of hunting for POW.
Why do you think that, like, why isn't there Alpine Assassins today? Sled Next today? You know, like,
Well, I think
is it just because it stuck because there was something you had to go purchase, like a VHS or a CD or a DVD?
I think so.
And now it's just so easy. The barrier to entry is so easy. You think that's what it is, or what?
I think that people have a hard time sitting down for 45 minutes to watch snowmobiling.
Yeah.
With today's format being like very quick, instant, like a 5-minute edit or less on YouTube. I don't. It's very weird. I don't know why it's disappeared kind of for the long format films.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I think they're really cool because each person can do a segment all year and gather the story they want to make in that couple minutes.
Yeah.
And put a bunch of those people together. I would love to see the return of it. You guys actually were a part of, I think with Backwoods at Heydays, you guys did that. Was it Power Hour? Were you guys a part of that?
We, not us as like a company, but we did
gotcha.
have like some of our athletes were
right.
were featured.
Was
featured in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool way. Maybe we could see some more of that and get more people to get involved with making like a segment from the season.
Yeah.
Because I think that would start to bring it back a little bit more. And there's a
Yeah.
few people out there doing some stuff, but
Yeah, and I think we were talking about it last night, but it's hard to hold on to that footage.
yeah,
Right,
and not
like
release
you go
it
do
now.
something sick. You you get back to to the lodge or whatever, and you're like, let's get this loaded up now, right? Post and send.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is kind of tough to kind of hold on to that stuff.
It'd be
but-
pretty cool, I think, to see a return of it because I think it allows you to write a story with the segment
yeah,
as opposed to like, look at this cool maneuver.
yeah, just
So-
going from maneuver to maneuver.
Yeah. But
true.
you never know. See where it goes.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
So
So we're in 2008.
Yep.
Alpine Assassins kicks off. That's kind of like your entry ticket into like, holy cow, look what these snowmobiles can
Yeah.
kind of start doing.
yeah, we were kind of doing it. And then, I mean, once the Rev came out in 04, that's when I got one, we were like, whoa, this is rad. So we started pushing it, and then we started the film thing. And through that, I was like, oh, I think I want to start guiding and stuff. So I started getting Avalanche education, which I had to take with my snowboard and snowshoes. And then at the time, the Sierra Avalanche Center reached out to me because we were doing the Alpine Assassin things and trying to make a name for ourselves.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, would you like to come and kind of help get some sledders to do this class with us and help us teach it? Like, okay, well, what's that look like for me? Like, what do you guys want me to do? What do you want me to teach? How do I teach it? And so I was lucky. Travis Feist, who's a mentor of mine in the Avalanche community, is my boss at Sierra Avalanche Center. And he kind of coached me along the way and got me into the right courses. So then I took pro education, went through the ARI education, the American Institute of Avalanche Research and Education. I became a professional instructor. I became an instructor trainer. Went through all the right hoops. Actually, before becoming the instructor for that stuff, I just became a course leader and instructor, which takes extra training than what the AAA standards are. So I went through those courses, which are designed to help you become a teacher because you already have the education of what the avalanche situation is and how to move through terrain.
Yeah.
But then, like, ARI teaches you how to be a teacher, which is a pretty big step.
Oh, yeah.
So that helped, and we just started kicking things off. We've been teaching avalanche education at home for 10 years now, which has been a lot of fun. I get to work out on my sled.
When you say, like, with your classes and courses, is it 100% snowmobilers?
Yes, or snowbikers.
Or snowbikers, yeah. Motorized.
Yeah, motorized only.
Yeah, motorized only. Okay.
Yeah, I will turn down any human-powered courses that people ask me to do just because the motorized community has been underserved in avalanche education forever.
Yeah.
And we still make up half of the fatalities.
Yeah.
So it's just a goal of mine to help. Like, it's super fun. I get to ride and go show people how riding fun is making good decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and we did some quick stuff yesterday, and I was surprised at how quick and easy it is to just get a lay of the land, as far as what the snow's doing. You don't have to, it's not going to ruin your day at all. It's just a quick little thing. So
yeah, it's not rocket science. And yesterday was cool. Yeah, like I said, it's not rocket science. We looked into the snowpack really quick. We dug a trench with our track just to get our hands in the snow and confirm what they're talking about in the advisory, which is persistent weak layers. We looked at those faceted grains. We identified that they're there. You got strong snow over weak snow. That is enough to confirm the advisory and say, hey, considerable and high avalanche danger means it's sketchy. We're likely to trigger an avalanche. Let's stay off the steep stuff. Here we can see it in this trench. We did a quick snowpack test, like a compression test, just to check out what it's doing, but that's not designed to make decisions off.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of poking around, and we were seeing shooting cracks. We were seeing whoomping and hearing whoomping when we would get together. And those are big signs of instability. So, when you see all that stuff, it's easier to make good decisions, but you really got to kind of wake up your perception and look for that stuff. If you don't look for it, then you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
And if you look for it and don't find it, doesn't mean it's not there. It means maybe it's not happening where you are.
Exactly where you're at, right?
Yeah. So it's real. It takes just you're constantly looking. You're constantly paying attention to what nature's telling you. But it's not a lot of things. Like, we all do it anyways. I think it's like waking people up to remember to look around, pull their head out of their dash.
Just making it a habit,
Yeah, exactly. There's a few easy steps. So
Nice.
It's good stuff. Yeah. So, that became work. I teach anywhere from 10 to 14 courses a year, not including awareness talks. And it's fun. It's almost like 10 people a course, and we go out and ride. Most courses are 3 days of wheelies and test slopes.
There we go.
Yeah, it's good times.
So now that brings us up to today. You work with FXR.
Yeah,
right.
Signed a new gig there.
So signed it, and this was just recently, like within the last year, right?
At Heydays, we launched.
At Heydays, and you guys launched. Maybe tell us a little bit about what you guys launched at Heydays.
Sure.
And what your role is at FXR.
Yeah, so I've been an athlete with FXR for 9 years. Signed with them, and whenever that was, as one of their athletes, and it's been awesome. They've worked well with them. It's a great family. It's owned by Milt, and he, it's a private company, and he crushes it. He does a great job. There's a ton of people that work there, and it's seriously, we call it FXR family.
Nice.
And everybody's really cool and works together, and it's a lot of fun, especially when they all get together. I've been out to headquarters a few times, and I really try and be active with my sponsor, make sure that they're getting what they kind of signed up for.
Yeah.
Under promise, overproduce.
Yeah.
That's my MO.
That's a good MO. A good model to live off of.
Definitely. And so over the years, I've been like, in the mountains and the West Coast, FXR is a huge brand, and our presence in the Midwest is massive. Excuse me. In the mountain scene, we've got a bunch of great gear, but I feel like a lot of people aren't really aware of what we have.
Yeah.
And so there's been some changes with reps and whatever's happening there. In March, a buddy of mine, Corey, who works at corporate, he did a big tour and visited a bunch of dealers. And I was like, hey, are we looking for, or is FXR looking for a new rep? And it's kind of like, well, yeah. And I was like, well, what would happen if I put my hat in the ring? And it kind of perked up some people because we've worked together for so long, and I have a great understanding of the line.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and I chatted for about 3 months and really tried to dial in how, what, and make it right. So we talked with corporate and really dialed in, kind of wanted to make sure there were no red flags moving forward. So we dove in, and I took the repping job for Western United States, kind of Mountain
West.
Yeah, Mountain West, I guess.
Yeah.
We split it between a few reps, but I have where I'm at in California, north, so Northern Cal, Oregon, Washington, Northern Idaho, so like McCall north.
Yep.
Then Wyoming and Montana.
Interesting. So you don't cover Southeast Idaho. Kind of goes around that area right there. That probably gets lumped in with Utah.
We still have a current rep doing Utah, South Idaho.
Gotcha.
And, we don't have a ton of dealers in that massive place, but the West we have less people out here than the Midwest, right? And our towns are very sporadically sparsed. Or sporadically populated, I guess. Like the locations are very few and, well, not few and far between, but very far between each town.
Sure.
So we're spread out, but we're making another push. Like we've got some cool things coming out for next season. It's not going to be a big launch of product because our 30th anniversary is coming up.
Okay.
Or 25 or 30, I can't remember. I think it's 30.
One of them.
Yeah.
Better get it right.
Big one.
Yeah. A big anniversary is coming up.
Big anniversary is coming up in 2026. But for next year, we do have a new tri-laminate shell jacket and shell bib coming out just for backcountry riding. So
sweet.
I'm psyched.
So you'll be
I'm
rocking
super
that.
Psyched. Oh, definitely. I'm like, when do we get samples? Let's get it. I want to start getting it out there. I want to go to the dealers.
Are you? But are you wearing the samples and we just don't know about it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, I would show you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like when that stuff gets out, I'm going to be back on the road, hitting all the dealerships.
Cool.
And to me, it's just like making relationships, introducing myself. I've been on a few tours around to see the different dealers and really just trying to, like, I'm not a used car salesman. I'm more of a person-to-person type, like, hey, how's it going for you? Like, how can I help?
And you started as an ambassador athlete.
Right.
Right? Like, you didn't come up through, like, the regular ranks.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a normal rep.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. We kind of planned out a 3 to 5 year scope. That way it's not just, I don't think this works. We're all going to make it work. And I'm psyched because year-round gig, we have a sick moto line.
Yeah.
What's today? We got Supercross coming up. I think it's San Diego.
Okay.
On Saturday. And if you check the lineup, we've got a couple rad teams in there.
Sweet.
Club MX, they're crushing it. I think we had podium in San Francisco, even though it was a mud bog.
Okay.
But our moto gear is crushing it and making waves. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Not only that, but we have a fishing line. We've got a super lifestyle line. Yeah, full foul weather fishing.
Yeah.
To really cool UPF, really lightweight shirts and stuff, and shorts and shoes. And I mean, there's no wonder the catalog is super thick.
Yeah. And
we do a mountain bike line. We've got a bunch of stuff, and it's sick.
Awesome.
I love all our stuff.
Yeah, when I think of FXR, I think I don't think boring at all. I think the opposite of boring. Yeah, and so it's kind of fun, light, very colorful. You stand out. So
we have a wide range too, which is cool. Like there's a bunch of chill stuff. I kind of pick the less loud unless we're taking photos, which was my buddy James Cole and I nailed the cover shot for the catalog, for the snow catalog last year. Super bright outfit. Looks great in pictures. Matches the wraps you guys bust out, which is cool.
Nice.
But we also have a line of like pretty chill style with less logos called the Ride X line. That's
Okay.
it's more, I don't know, it's just like mellower vibes.
Sure.
Not so loud and in
Like
your face.
45-year-old vibes.
Ooh.
Right?
Maybe more West Coast snowboard, old school snowboard vibes.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, like right now, everything's 45-year-old vibe.
Sweet. Sweet. Cool. Well, this kind of transitions us over to kind of our next segment. We wanted to talk kind of some Avy Savvy stuff, but the direction of the question was like, hey, what are like some of the pre-ride checklists? Boom, 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 boom. Quick things that as we're getting ready to hit the trail or the mountain, here's 3 to 5 things that mentally go over with myself, with the group, and just bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
So kind of like we'll
Pre-ride.
talk pre-ride list, and then like
While we ride. Yep.
List.
So like pre-ride, everybody already does this, but taking Avalanche education gives you a structure so that you don't miss anything. And that's when accidents happen, is when we miss stuff. So structured education or professional education by somebody who's been trained to teach is the best way to actually get this process so you can repeat it and not miss stuff. And it doesn't take a lot of time. So before you ride, every time you call your buddies. So that's assemble your group, right? You figure out who's going to go. Like, maybe today's not the day for me to ride. Maybe tomorrow would be better. So I'm going to go call, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, we always have that A team, B team, whoever those people are. Maybe Cody is not the guy we want because he's always finding himself down in the creek at the 4 p.m. trying to take that shortcut back to the truck.
Yeah.
So you just really got to think about what everybody brings to the table. Like, who's got the right gear? Whose sled's always breaking down? Who knows how to use the Avalanche gear? Who's taking training? Who's not? What's the danger for the day? What's all that look like, right?
Yep.
So we assemble our group, figure out who our partners are for the day. Next thing we do is we check conditions, which means avalanche advisory and weather. So looking at that stuff is going to tell you what is the avalanche conditions, what's the snowpack like. We probably have a mental note of what's going on. Where's the powder? Where's the good riding? And what should we avoid because avalanches could be possible or likely?
Yeah.
And what does that look like? And what should we be looking for while we ride? And then the weather, what are we packing, right? Like a storm day, I'm going to pack different stuff than a sunny day. And a cold day, I'm going to pack different stuff than a warm day. And those all mix together.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is then going to come into our plan, which is the next thing we do, of where we're going, what our route is like, and what do we need to look out for the day. So those are the quick things that we can do that we already do, but that's a type of structure that we teach on how to do it. Once we get to the trailhead, we check our gear. So that comes down to oil, gas, check your sled, replace that A-arm you bent last time, right? Make sure you're topped off on the essentials, food, water, snacks, tools for most of us.
You gotta make sure one guy packs the tools for you, right?
Well, it depends on what sled he's riding.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Just kidding. They all break down.
He's got to be part. You got to have him, and they're always part of the A team.
Oh, of
right?
course. Yeah. The guy that knows how to wrench.
Yep.
And then, outside comms, all that stuff. And then before you get on the sleds, transceiver, probes, shovels on your persons, right? Transceiver's worn underneath your most outer layer or in a zippered in pocket, not a cargo pocket, or in a manufactured pocket. So a lot of the vests now have a specific transceiver pocket. The monosuits have a specific transceiver pocket. Some of the pants, an FXR, we have a specific transceiver pocket with a lanyard location inside the zipper, as well as a little sleeve that's elastic that keeps the transceiver in place so it's not bouncing around.
Yeah.
You got to check battery life, send and receive functions. That way you know that everybody's transceiver can do all the things it needs to do.
Yeah. Is there just kind of a random question, is there, for Duncan, when that battery life gets a certain percentage or bars, where are you swapping that out?
So it's really best to read your manual to find out what your manufacturer suggests for your transceiver. because I teach so much, I let my batteries get pretty low. And like I run a Mammut transceiver. I can leave the parking lot with 30%, but I probably switch them at 50, right? Just because what is a pack of 3 batteries is like $6.
Yeah.
So I'd rather, not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But like transceivers don't use a lot of energy to send a signal. They use a lot of energy to receive a signal. So if you practice a bunch, you'll use up more battery. But I still go through maybe 2 sets of batteries a year, and I teach a bunch. So my transceiver's in search for demos, and we practice a bunch. So it goes pretty good. And then as far as checking probes and shovels, just a quick assembly if you've never ridden with somebody to make sure, one, they know how to do it and that they have it.
Yep.
But if it's with your normal crew, like, and you trust your buddies, like, hey, you still got your stuff in your pack? Yeah, sweet. Same pack? Okay, right on. After you check that stuff, everybody's good to go. Then you reconfirm the plan, where your first stop's going to be, and then take off and ride, right?
Yep.
And so that brings us into the while we ride portion. We're always looking for a few different things while we're out there, right? Actually, in my awareness talks, I break it down into a few different steps that are see it, watch it. Oh, sorry. I did that wrong. I don't have it memorized. I use PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 45. Like, give me a break. See it, right? You're visually checking things out as you get there. Feel it. You take off. What's the snow feel like? Touch it. Get your hands in the snow. Find out what's going on in the snowpack. Confirm if what the advisory is talking about, if it's there. Watch it. Watch your buddy get on something, hopefully something small that can't bury them. See what the reactivity is going on. We call that a test slope. Ride it, so then you get to ride it. And then my favorite one, taste it. That means game on, pow days, in your face shots, party on. You got to taste it.
Yeah, you do. Love it.
But formally, right, that's to break the ice and have some fun.
Yeah.
Formally, when you're out there, you really want to look for recent avalanche activity. That is the number one red flag. If you're seeing recent avalanche activity, which means in the past 24 hours, then you want to know what aspect, what elevation did it go, what did it slide on, what's the weak layer, and what caused it. So if it's a natural avalanche, that means it's likely for you to trigger, right? So like, if nature's doing it on its own, add us to the slope and you got a problem.
Yeah, add a trigger and boom.
Yeah, so if you're seeing natural avalanches, chances are they're repeatable. So big heads up, right? After that, you want to look for other signs of instability, which would be getting your hands in the snow, looking for weak faceted grains like we did.
Yeah.
Looking for shooting cracks, looking for small pockets breaking off on test slopes, or even doing snowpack tests if you have that knowledge and have taken a class. And again, like, doing snowpack tests is not a decision-making tool. It's just designed to gather data, right? So I would never do a snowpack test, get a result that implies stability, and then be like, oh, let's ratchet it up and go hit that slope.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, you're looking for the opportunity of a green light. I would rather do a snowpack test and say, well, this doesn't confirm anything, right? Because it didn't give us the right results.
Yeah.
Even though we know this layer is in the area, we confirm there's a weak layer underneath this strong slab. We're still going to play it safe, and I'll maybe go do some more.
Yeah.
And see what those results are.
Yeah.
And then I would say, well, or maybe our day was, hey, like, it seems pretty good. We're dealing with this problem. We were going to get on this slope, and then we do a snowpack test and see some reactivity, and then be like, whoa, we're actually not going to go do that now.
Yeah, those are probably your more dangerous times, right, in the backcountry when a report might say something. Your brain says, "Hey, we're good today." You don't do some actual tests in the area that you're actually riding, and you find yourself, maybe you're a little bit more loose with your judgment,
right?
Versus, hey, I'm on edge today because reports are saying
it's high danger or
it's high
something.
danger, right?
Yeah.
So you're on edge.
It's easier to make good decisions when the reports are considerable or high, or even high danger. Considerable gets tricky because you might not see good evidence, but you're likely to trigger something.
Yeah.
And then in a moderate danger level, you probably won't see evidence, depending on the problem.
Yeah.
But you're still possible to trigger something. And the biggest killer is a persistent slab problem. And that's where you've got these loose, weak grains under the snowpack that take a long time to change. And that's what's going on around here right now. We have some persistent weak layers, and they don't give you good evidence. Like right now, there's good evidence, but they don't always do that.
Yeah.
And then you get on something, and the only evidence you get is when you trigger an avalanche.
Yeah.
And so it gets people the most. Like the most fatalities are from a persistent slab problem.
Now, do you use Onyx at all?
I do, yeah. And I was actually just talking with the GM out in the parking lot about Onyx and how great their product is.
Sweet.
I also use a couple others.
Yeah. So one thing, now let me walk you through this scenario because the slope angle feature in Onyx is something that I look at when I'm on the computer. So I'm looking for new terrain. I pull up my slope angle, gives me my colors, right? That tell me, okay, this is 30, between 30 and 35, 35, 40, right? You're out there, you see a natural slide, all right? Maybe you can eyeball and say, hey, that's a 40-degree angle right there, slid on 40, right? If I have my Onyx app and I'm standing right there and I'm looking at what just slid and it's showing me that's 35 or 40 or whatever, right?
It is.
And I see that color, I now can look all around me and say,
Avalanche terrain,
all of
avalanche
this right
terrain,
here, like that we can see right here, this slid, all this is going to slide too. It could slide, right?
Depending on what's going on in the snowpack.
And that's a quick little check.
Sure. That would be a great way to use that tool.
Yeah.
But with all mapping software, it's very hard for them to get detailed down to the specific slope.
Yeah.
So you will find that in certain situations, the map might say a certain slope angle for this kind of area, but
when you're actually there,
they might
be a little off.
Yeah, it might be a little off. Just fair warning, right?
Yeah.
It's a great generalization tool. And if you start to thread the needle on the map and then try and do that in real life, you might find yourself in the wrong spot.
let me put a pin here. Okay, checkpoint, boom, boom.
Right,
boom.
and you're like, oh, there's avalanche terrain here and here, but then you're like in the real world, like, oh, that's actually the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a great app and great use of tool, and that's actually what you explained is a great way to use it because you could double check things and see, oh yeah, like that is 40 degrees. Okay, cool. The other great tool is just the measuring app on your phone. You can actually shoot slope angles, shoot alpha angles, and the best way to get an eyeball for it is just to practice that all the time.
Yeah.
In classes, I do side bets.
Yeah.
Hey, how steep is this slope? Do you guys think? And everybody throws in their answer, and then I gave out candy.
Good. Yeah, that's a good test right there for sure.
So we missed a couple things in the ride.
In the ride.
While we're riding, after we look for other signs of instability.
Okay.
If they list a persistent problem in the advisory, that's a red flag, because that means you have a difficult to understand problem, right? Not a lot of signs, and then the one that kills the most people. So if you read persistent weak layer or persistent slab in an advisory, that's already like, okay, things are scary. Now you got to understand exactly where it lives, what aspect, what elevation. If you don't have an advisory, you got to go dig down and try and find it, right? You got to understand what's happening in the snowpack. Yeah. So it takes more knowledge if you're gonna go ride where there's no advisory.
Yeah.
After that, you're looking for recent loading, which is in the form of wind blowing snow, new snow, wind blowing new snow, or just a new storm dumping, right? If you get over a foot of snow in 24 hours, that's a pretty big load on the current snowpack.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. Yeah. What is that number?
Like,
so over,
if it's a foot, you're dealing with a problem.
Yeah,
like just how it is.
Yep.
And new snow problems like a storm slab or wind slab are quicker healing than things buried in the snowpack like persistent slab or deep persistent slab. And then you're dealing with rapid warming after that. If it's warming up, a quick change in temperature, whether it's solar or just ambient temperature, can have big effects on the snowpack, usually from the top down. So basically what that does, if you have a buried persistent weak layer, and say the sun comes out and it goes from 25 degrees to 32 degrees, you've got a big change really quick, and that'll condense the top snow and make things probably more touchy.
Yeah.
But you'll see signs like pinwheels or roller balls, all the snow releasing out of the trees in the sun.
Yeah, which is kind of what happened up here. I mean, we were negatives the
And
first
now-
part of the week.
Yeah,
and
the roads were frozen, and now the
Yep.
roads are wet.
Yep.
Like, that's a sign right there. You don't have to be out in avalanche terrain to see this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So while we're riding, is that
Those are the big things. Those
Big
are kind of
things.
the red flags.
Okay.
Like, if you see that stuff, then you need to make decisions and avoid more avalanche terrain.
Yeah.
So slopes over 30 degrees, obvious slide paths, anything with a terrain trap below it. A great thing I learned from a good friend of mine, Jeremy Hankey, was what's above me, what's below me, what happens if this slides. He probably said that in the podcast with you guys. It was a long one. I haven't been through the whole thing
I'd have
yet.
to check. Yeah.
It's a great situational awareness reminder. If you think, while you're riding, if you think what's above me, what's below me, what happens if this slides, you're gonna make better decisions
Yeah.
based on where you're at in terrain.
Well, I love that.
It's good. I mean, I'm definitely plagiarizing the hell out of it from him.
He won't mind.
No, he loves me.
Yeah.
He says, we want to know what's funny?
What?
How I met him.
He didn't tell me this story.
He didn't? Okay, so with the Sierra Avalanche Center, they've done throttle decisions out of Canada. Jeremy's been a big part of throttle decisions. The video series about motorized avalanche education, great stuff. Like, if you want to go online and watch some quick, easy how-tos, check that stuff out, and then go sign up for Jeremy's new product, which is online avalanche education.
That stuff is
Dude,
slick.
he's crushing it.
Yeah.
He is changing the game.
Yeah.
And you can pay in and use it for courses so other instructors can use it too.
Oh,
It's going to be
wow.
a great module stuff. It's
Yeah.
awesome. But,
And it's entertaining too.
well, he's an entertaining guy.
Right.
It's all a show. Like, we're just a bunch of entertainers around here. Comedians sometimes.
Yeah.
But so we had all this footage, and we wanted to have them edit it from Throttle Decisions. So we reached out to the editors and then got in touch with Jeremy, and Sierra Avalanche Center's like, hey, Duncan, can you get this hard drive to Jeremy? I'm like, yeah. So I'm like calling him, like, hey, I come to Revelstoke. I've been up there for a couple of years before I met him. He's like, oh, yeah, you can just come up and drop that off at my house. And I would get to talking to him a little bit. And he's like, oh, yeah, I kind of have a lodge. I rent my part of my house out. I'm like, oh, you got anybody staying for the week? Because I'd love to come up and just ride. He's like, no, yeah. I'm like, well, he's like, well, you can just crash. I'm like, really? So I called my buddies and picked them up. At the time, Luke Rohde
Okay.
and Ethan Taylor. And R.I.P. Luke, miss you, buddy. But we drive up and show up at Jeremy's door. And actually, he is out riding, and we were going to meet him. We ran out of gas on the way to go to this riding spot north of town, way north. Like, we didn't realize it was 60 miles. So then we hitchhike back to town, get diesel, get the trucks filled up, go find him on this really horrible information he gave us to this not real trailhead, drive out this Canadian logging road, find their trucks. Okay, park the trucks, follow their trucks. We're in deep. We get out there, and he's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'm Duncan. He's like, yeah, well, duh. Like, who else would make it out here? Like, I can't believe you guys are all the way out here or even made it this far. I'm like, dude, we're committed, man. Like, I wanted to meet you. Two, like, I know you guys know where the goods is. He's been in Ravi for, I don't know, 25, 30 years.
Time.
Yeah, him and Alfred kind of done a lot of pioneering there, which is pretty rad. So I show up with other buddies, like, to crash on the couch, just took rooms, just said, yeah, I'm moving in. I'm hanging out, and gave him no choice to say no. And he's pretty rough, you know.
So you forced that friendship.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. It's worked out for you guys, though.
He loves me, you know. Like, we're pretty tight.
That's awesome.
I used to call him the angry Canadian, but he's really changing his ways. And he's a lovely, positive guy now. I feel like that's all me.
Nice.
You know.
Good work.
Just trying to make a difference.
Yeah. Sweet.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
then I would go up every spring and
Okay.
stay a month at his place.
every spring.
Yeah, I would spend April.
Just the whole month of April.
Yeah, because my wife would go guide in foreign countries, and I was like, well, I'm not going to stay in Tahoe and just ride slush. I'll go up to Canada where it dumps 3 feet and is bluebird for springtime, and I'm staying at your house. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, I'll see you there.
There you
Super
go.
fun.
It's a great program to be on.
I'm pretty lucky. Like, I don't think everybody gets that.
Yeah.
And so then we started doing awareness talks together, which are a riot. He has slapped me across the face pretty strongly because we had a bet going. I said beacon.
Wow.
And he got me. I got him too, but I was much nicer with this. I just kind of lightly tapped him.
You're saying beacon instead of transceiver?
Yeah, he's got
he's got a thing about
big thing about that, yeah.
Man, I got to watch that back now and see if I said that and just see if he just quenched, you know?
He might have.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. He's a great guy, very
That's
passionate
funny.
about what he does.
Yeah. So,
Derail.
no, we're good. No, we're good because I want to talk about your style.
Oh, okay. It's like
So
I don't
you're-
know.
so
I hear
this-
I've other people.
We've
bring
had
this
people
up.
tell us, like, you ever rode at Duncan before? No. Dude's got style. Dude's got style. So, and you're 45, right?
Yeah, I'm 45.
And still riding style.
I
So,
guess.
you know, the natural question is, well, when I'm 45, I would like to be, you know, doing the stuff that you're doing, still doing the stuff that you're doing.
I rode with you yesterday. I think you will be.
We'll see. We'll see about that. But like, are you just built different, or is
I
it
don't know.
like is this a product of something, you know, that you've done repeatedly for a while, as far as like, you know, allowing you to the longevity of the sport, allowing you to kind of carry that further, you know, and because you don't look like you're winding down much. I mean,
I don't
look
feel
at
like it.
this. I mean, you get a little war wound right here, and you're still sending it, you know. So
I don't even. That wasn't. Oh man, that wasn't even doing anything. It's taking a turn.
yeah,
You know, it's an interesting. I'm flattered when people say I have style because I think, like personally, I'm like, style is the coolest thing, and that's what sets us apart individually. Because everybody can do a wheelie, everybody can do this. You know, so many people can do this, but you can't always like if you just jump off something straight and go massive. That's cool.
yeah,
But if you jump off something massive and just like give it a little tweak or like add a little flair, then I mean that's cool.
Yeah.
Right. That's like okay. So I don't know. I think it's honestly it's just part of I think how I grew up skateboarding and riding BMX jumps and like doing whips and then into moto and snowboarding and like
yeah. So you got your style probably from
I would guess
from that background.
Yeah, I would just like slash turns on snowboards and riding big lines and like just trying to paint the mountains differently than like I don't know. Always try to view something like okay, people might go do that, but I'm looking for this like obscure thing that you know maybe nobody else is gonna hit. So yeah, it's super fun to me. I think like that's keeps me interested
Yeah.
to like put my flair on it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've never. I don't know. When people
Any
say that, I'm
tips?
just like,
Like-
do I really have that much style? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just smiling and having fun. Like, I'm going this way.
I mean, like, is there anything that you can think of that maybe you subconsciously do? That
Like to build style?
Build style.
I would say I think, honestly, like, start small, right? And that's with everything. Like, start small, work on something, and then turn it up a notch, and then work on it again. So, like, I think if you're gonna like, let's take jumping, right? If you're gonna put some style into a jump, like, you build a jump, you hit it once, like, okay, I feel good about the distance or whatever. Then you hit it again, maybe off the side of it, and like, oh, I'm gonna give it a little burp, and then you like work on that a little bit. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I know how when I fly sideways a little bit, I got to correct, and you know, I'm not doing a whip, but I'm like, oh, a little flare out or like lean over the bars. You know, I think Chris Sturkey's talked about it a little bit, and he's like, he does this like stand up, lean forward deal, which looks really cool because then he looks all, I don't know, he looks taller and like more
you're
forward.
in like a very
aggressive stance.
Stance and look.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool. Whereas like I look at some photos of me, and I'm like bent down. I'm getting this hunchback thing going too as I get older, but I'm like bent down by the bars, and it's like a totally different look. And I can see what looks cool about Caleb is that like you can see the space between him and the bars. And I look at some of my shots, I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to like do more of that because I'm all bent, crunched into it. But when I'm in the air, I'm like, oh, this feels so cool.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe the style thing for me is like it feels good. It like feels really neat.
That's your style.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I don't know. Start small. Like there's this another buddy of mine, Justin Sheaf. We call it the Sheaf leg because actually we learned it from Josh Roth.
Yeah.
R.I.P. brother. Miss him too. But Roth dogging. It was like kicking your leg way out, doing these side hill maneuvers, get it up in a wheelie and just like kick that leg way out. And like then we start calling it the sheaf leg. His leg is in every picture. It's like way
Just
out
dangling?
here. Yeah, dangling. Yeah, I think they called it dangling at one time.
A dangling?
Do people still say that, dangling?
I mean, the word exists.
There you go.
Okay. And you're pretty fit. I mean, so you're
Try and
45.
stay fit, man. It's
You're
important.
45.
Yep.
Taking care of the body.
Trying to. I'm pretty broke over the years. Got bumps, bruises, and screws and plates, and just like everybody else that likes to play hard. But yeah, like rehab's huge on your bones and muscles, and trying to stay fit. Luckily, I have a wife that's way into working out, and she
keeps you in shape.
Yeah, well, she cracks a whip on me to make sure that I'm not slacking. She loves to work out. We get to go ride together, snowboard together, mountain bike together, all kinds of fun stuff. We got a 4-year-old, almost 4. He keeps us in shape too. Got to chase him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like eating healthy, and I think honestly, as I'm aging and learning what that brings on, is it's all about eating really well, you know, and making sure you're not just eating junk.
Yeah.
Trying to cut out sugar, which is really difficult.
You've been saving.
Oh,
you had this
man.
plan? Did you have this
What?
plan?
No.
Holy smokes.
Plan.
That was clutch right there.
Just entertainer.
Yeah. There you go.
That's so
Always
good.
thinking, what's above me? What's
good.
below me?
Red
What's
vines.
going to happen when this thing falls? There you go.
When I'm done,
Yep.
might have another.
Sweet.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I definitely used to drink a fair amount when I was younger. And the ski snowboard scene out in Tahoe is pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
And met my wife in a bar, which was cool.
Yeah.
Back before dating apps and social media.
Yep.
So it was a real live connection.
Mm-hmm.
But really try and tame that down these days because it just doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah.
And then I've missed a couple epic rides with some big dogs because I was hungover, and that's dumb. I mean, we all make mistakes, right? Live and learn.
Live and learn. Cool.
Yeah, trying to stay healthy and stay fit. I like to be able to dance around the sled and keep up with these young guys. Jeez, they just rip.
Yeah, they do. But you do a great job
Thank you.
doing it.
It's fun, like whipping a bow tie and then staring at your buddy who's following you. You're like, what's up? You didn't see that coming? I think that happened to us yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got right up in my business.
My bad.
But
Yeah,
No.
it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't. My dad gives me a bunch of crap about being so broken over the years.
mm-hmm.
He's like, you're going to hurt. Like, well, probably so. I'm just not going to stop.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. If I stop, I figure it's going to start.
It'll
to
just
hurt.
escalate it quicker,
Yeah.
right?
So I
Ride it out.
I
as
feel
long
like
as you
I've
can.
toned down a lot.
Yeah, probably have.
I probably have. I still
Right.
love to jump stuff. It's so much fun. But I'm really selective
Yeah.
on what the landing's like.
Yeah.
So I was out with Boondock Nation guys. Jack's been sending it. Dylan's been sending it. And sometimes Jack's just airs to flat. But if it's deep, what is he, in his 20s?
No, I think so.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, that looked like fun, but no, I'm good. But 2 years ago, we were sending pretty fat, like 150-foot jump, big roller.
Yeah.
Take it way down to at least some training. And I'm very selective.
Yeah.
I definitely do it.
You gotta
do
be.
what I used to.
For sure.
It's fun. No, I don't think I'll ever do a backflip.
No.
I don't think so.
If you do, let us know. We'll be there.
Okay. Now that there's too much pressure, so I'm probably going to say no thanks.
Yeah.
Those
Well-
guys are, man, it's so sick to watch.
I know.
My buddy Cody McNulty just,
There's a lot
Crushing
of
it.
people doing them too. So
yeah, it's crazy. It just looks normal
a
now.
couple guys figured it out, and then all of a sudden it's
Part of the
part of the
routine.
program.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
Where are we at with your questions?
So
What else we got?
dude, guess where we're at? We're down to the fun spot.
Are we sick?
Yeah. We're down to the lightning round.
Woo! Ding, ding, ding,
Okay.
ding, ding.
And I don't even know if you scrolled down this far,
I might have.
buddy.
Maybe not.
Okay. So the lightning round, we ask the same 2 questions to everyone.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, you have a brand new skidoo. Okay. So what are
Of
you
course.
riding? Right. If you only get 3 mods that you can do to that machine, what are those 3? Okay. And then the last question is, tell us something that you think most, if not all of your followers don't know about you.
I've got a bunch of those.
Sweet. We want like the secret stuff.
The deep.
Yeah, the deep stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So the first
3
question.
mods.
First question.
And what is it? Can't be a wrap?
A wrap does not count.
Okay.
We're not throwing wraps
Cool.
on here. So,
Yeah.
what are you riding? What's the sled you're picking?
Well,
What are you going with?
I just got a 146 Turbo R
Okay.
free ride, but I think I'll just stick with 154 Summit Expert. It's just awesome. A little more capable.
Yep.
That 46 just wheelie everywhere, which is really fun. But like, let's go practical. Most people be on a 54.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
So,
having both is
so we're
important.
on a 54
Expert.
Summit
Summit
Expert.
Turbo
Okay.
R.
Turbo R. Here we go.
3 mods.
3 mods.
Shocks. Hands down.
Okay.
Yep. Tom's motion skid in the rear. The torsion delete. Full
Okay.
Fox. Adjustable. Just, yeah, number one.
Okay.
Cockpit. Bars. Just changing it up. This year I started doing 2-inch riser
Okay.
with a Boondocker 2.0 Cheetah Factory Racing. So I have a total of 4 inches of rise off the steering post.
Okay.
And I used to be a 3-inch riser. And I'm like, ooh, 2-inch lower.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. Feels good. Feels really good. I like the sweep of the Boondocker too.
Okay.
They got a bunch of options, but yeah, that would definitely be number 2.
Okay. Suspension, cockpit, third one.
Man, I got to pick between a can or skis.
You only get 3, man.
I know. It's tough.
Speak now.
Or forever holding my peace.
Yep. What could you not ride? What could you not ride without out of those 2?
Man, I mean, stock sleds are pretty rideable these days.
Yeah.
But for the fun, you know, I think I just throw the sound on it just because it's just like singing,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm a motorhead. I love motors sounding cool.
Yeah.
Like a stock sled or a GGB kind of tuned up sound. I'm going to be like, ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you don't get performance gains out of just a can, but you drop a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And that sound is like, I mean, I don't run the mountain can because
Yeah.
it's like blow your brains out loud. The trail can is
Yeah.
pretty loud.
You've got a good, a
That
good,
my
a
46
good tune. Yeah.
has
on
the
that.
trail
It
can. It
sounds-
sounds pissed off.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's pretty. It's loud, but like a nice loud, I think.
Yeah. For
And then
sure.
the quiet can, if you want to drop the weight, it's not much louder than stock.
Yeah.
It's got a crisp little bark to it.
Yep.
You're not gonna blow anybody's eardrums out,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Okay.
So I think those, yeah.
So we got
shocks,
can. Can comes in 3. So
shocks, bars,
bars,
can.
can.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
Now
then partying.
what's that dirty secret?
Dirty secret.
Yeah. What's the thing no one knows about you?
In high school, I was second chair All-State, Nevada, tuba player.
Tuba?
Yes, sir.
That was not what I was thinking.
I
Like
know.
cross like track,
Nah.
100-meter.
Nope. I mean, I played
Tuba.
soccer. Yeah, but tuba.
Tuba, second chair,
All-State.
All-State, Cali.
Nevada.
Or sorry, Nevada.
I grew up in Nevada, yeah.
Nevada.
Yeah. Tuba.
So
I was into it. We were doing, we did this thing called Tuba Christmas at the mall every year in Reno. And
R.I.P. Malls.
Yeah. Are they done?
I mean,
I haven't been in a while.
when's the last time you've been to
Tuba
one?
Christmas.
There we go.
1995.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we would have like 30 tubas, and I think I was the youngest most of the time.
Wow.
And we'd all play Christmas carols, and I was in the marching band. And they called me the sousaphone.
You
with
were
legs.
in the marching band with the tuba.
Yeah, the sousaphone,
Bro,
because the
you got a
sousaphone's the
photo of
marching
this
band.
or something?
I'm sure my mom does. But I weighed like 99 pounds as a freshman in high school.
Uh-huh.
And so they had to get this extended mouthpiece, and I'd carry the tuba, and all you could see was legs when we were marching. They called me the tuba with legs.
That's money.
It was fun. Playing music is amazing. It was
Yeah.
super fun because
It's a
I
sweet
used to
talent.
play the trumpet, and I was like doing jazz band and stuff. And then I knocked out my front teeth in 6th grade.
From the trumpet?
No, I was riding a bicycle.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
front wheel problem.
there you go.
Woke up in Reno.
Yeah. There you
But
go.
so they're like, well, you don't have any front teeth to support a mouthpiece, so how about the tuba mouthpiece? I'm like, oh, that works. So then I was like playing tuba in the high school band as a 8th grader, and
Wow.
it's fun. Like music I think it's great. Like gives you rhythm,
Yeah.
makes you have fun, and
That's cool.
so yeah, it's tuba, man. I'm all about it. Actually, I don't play it anymore, but I bet I could. Maybe take some lessons again.
I would expect nothing less for someone like you. So
You never know. Try anything.
okay,
Once.
well we got the cameraman
Cameraman's giving us the
giving
eye.
us the
What is? What's that?
telling us we're dying. Our batteries are dying. There we go. And I think he might be a little hungry.
What does this mean?
Wrap it up, boys.
Oh.
Wrap it up.
What was the code word?
I'm thirsty. Get me a drink, please.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell you what, man. It's been awesome spending. I'm not going to shake you with this hand because I broke it.
We'll do one of these.
Yeah, lefters.
Lefters.
It's been. Thank you guys so much for bringing us up here, letting us come crash with you. It's fun to see you guys in your natural habitat.
Yeah.
And hang out some more.
Yeah.
Like the wraps.
So glad we were
sick.
able to make it.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. It's been time coming, so like more to come. I think we'll do this some more at some point, at least ride together. And for all you guys out there, thanks for tuning in. This is another dope podcast, Sledder Cast, going down. And we'll be at it live all week, 99.5. Nothing but the hot hits. Just kidding.